The greatest illusion in this world is the belief that change comes from the outside. That if only the conditions were right, if only people were different, if only circumstances would shift, then and only then you could become the person you wish to be. But this is false. The truth is, everything begins and ends within you. As we step into 2025, I urge you to withdraw your focus from the world of effects and place it solely on the cause, yourself. You are the master key, the source of every experience you encounter. If you waste your energy on what others are doing, on their opinions, their successes, or their failures, you surrender the very power that shapes your destiny. Your external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the assumptions you hold within. Every experience, every interaction, every so-called random event is a manifestation of your internal state. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. The only reality that truly exists is the one you consistently assume to be true. If you wish to transform your life in 2025, you must begin by transforming your assumptions. Look beyond what your senses tell you. What you see, hear, and experience right now is simply a result of past assumptions that have materialized into form. But the moment you change your inner state, the world must follow. This is not philosophy, this is law. Most people live in reaction to the world, believing that external circumstances dictate their destiny. They allow what they see to determine what they believe. They let obstacles define them, setbacks discourage them, and opinions sway them. But you are not here to be controlled by circumstances. You are here to command them, and the way you do that is by assuming the state of being you desire, regardless of what the present moment seems to reflect. To focus only on yourself means to take full responsibility for your inner world. It means to refuse to entertain assumptions that contradict your desired state. If you assume that success is difficult, life will prove you right. If you assume that love is scarce, you will experience its absence. But if you assume that you are already the person you wish to be, your world must align with that belief. The challenge is not whether this works, the challenge is whether you will persist. Most people waver, shifting between faith and doubt, between desire and fear. They assume wealth in the morning but worry about bills at night. They assume confidence one day but succumb to insecurity the next. This inconsistency is what keeps them stuck. But the one who remains unwavering, who assumes their desired state and refuses to entertain anything contrary to it, will see their assumption harden into fact. Do not concern yourself with the how. That is not your responsibility. The mechanism through which your assumption materializes is beyond your conscious mind's comprehension. Your only task is to remain faithful to the state of being you have chosen. Live in the end. Think from it, not of it. Walk through life as though it is already done, and the world will be forced to rearrange itself accordingly. This is not wishful thinking. It is the fundamental principle governing reality. Your assumption, when held with conviction, is a command that reality must obey. The only thing that can delay it is your own doubt, your own wavering, your own unwillingness to trust in the unseen. So in 2025, let your only focus be this. Assume the best for yourself and remain loyal to that assumption. The world will take care of the rest. The world is filled with distractions, noise, and endless opinions that seek to pull you in every direction, except the one that leads to your own transformation. Most people are trapped in the illusion that the external world holds power over them. They believe that circumstances dictate their success, that the actions of others determine their fate, and that the approval or disapproval of society defines their worth. But this is the greatest deception. The truth is that nothing outside of you has any power unless you give it your attention. To focus only on yourself means to withdraw from the illusion of external control and direct your energy inward. The events of the world are irrelevant to your personal evolution unless you allow them to dictate your inner state. If you look at the news and feel fear, you have accepted an assumption that does not serve you. If you listen to the opinions of others and let them affect your self-concept, you have given away your creative power. If you allow setbacks or delays to shake your belief, you have surrendered to the illusion that circumstances are stronger than your own consciousness. The world outside of you will always reflect a mix of chaos and order, success and failure, confidence and doubt. It is a stage upon which all kinds of beliefs play out. but none of it needs to concern you unless you choose to make it part of your reality. The disciplined mind understands this and does not react to every fleeting event. It does not waver in the face of appearances. It remains centered in its assumption, unmoved by the temporary conditions of the external world. Most people are slaves to the world around them. They check their bank account and let a number define their financial future. They listen to others, mock their dreams, and allow that doubt to take root. They compare themselves to others and believe they are falling behind. But what they fail to realize is that the moment they shift their focus inward toward their own state of being, everything begins to change. You do not need to fight against what you see. You do not need to argue, debate, or prove anything to anyone. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision you hold for yourself. The world does not dictate your success. Your consciousness does. And when you remain unwavering in your assumption, the world must yield to it. So in 2025, let the external noise fade into the background. Stop seeking validation. Stop reacting to opinions. Stop measuring your progress against anyone else. Instead, turn your attention inward. Assume the state of being you desire and let the world rearrange itself accordingly. Those who stay faithful to their inner world are the ones who rise above the illusions of the external. Be among them. Let nothing outside of you define who you are. Let your only focus be on what you choose to assume. And in doing so, you will realize that the world was never the master, you were. Most people live their lives waiting for external confirmation before they believe in their desires. They look for evidence, for signs, for proof that what they want is possible. But this is the wrong approach. The moment you need proof from the outside world, you have already lost your power. The truth is, you do not achieve your desires by waiting for them. You achieve them by assuming them to be already yours. To focus only on yourself in 2025 means to stop reacting to what is and start living from what will be. Your current circumstances are nothing more than old assumptions made visible. They have no real power over you unless you choose to continue accepting them as true. The only thing that matters is what you now claim to be. If you can shift your inner state and persist in it, the outer world will be forced to conform. This is the meaning of living from the end. You do not chase success. You assume you are already successful. You do not hope for love. You assume you are already loved. You do not wait for opportunities. You assume they are already yours. When you embody this mindset, the external world must reflect it back to you. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of consciousness. Most people struggle because they look at their current reality and allow it to dictate what they believe is possible. They want to be wealthy but see an empty bank account, so they assume scarcity. They want to be confident but recall past failures, so they assume insecurity. They want to be happy but focus on what is lacking, so they assume dissatisfaction. And by doing this, they reinforce the very reality they wish to escape. You must break this cycle by disciplining your mind to see only the reality you choose to live in. You must train yourself to feel as if your desire is already fulfilled, regardless of what the world currently shows you. If you wish to be successful, embody the feeling of success now. If you wish to be loved, carry yourself as someone who is already deeply cherished. If you wish to be abundant, move through life with the confidence that everything you need is already on its way. The world does not change first. You do. The moment you make a firm decision to live from the end, everything begins to shift in ways you cannot predict. People, events, and circumstances will move in response to your inner state. What seemed impossible before will unfold effortlessly, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you finally did. So in 2025, commit to this principle. Do not look outside for validation. Do not wait for things to change before you believe. Assume your desires are already yours. Live in that assumption and refuse to waver. The world is only a reflection of what you persist in believing. If you remain faithful to your vision, it will materialize. Because it must. Everything in your life is a reflection of your consciousness. There is no power outside of you shaping your destiny, only the assumptions you hold within. If you desire a new reality in 2025, you must begin with the understanding that your consciousness is the only cause. Your thoughts, beliefs, and inner conversations are constantly shaping the world around you. Most people believe change comes from external effort, that if they work harder, struggle more, or manipulate circumstances, they will achieve what they want. But true transformation does not happen through force. It happens through a shift in awareness. The moment you assume something as true, the world moves to confirm it. This is the law of consciousness. You cannot escape it, but you can learn to master it. The mistake most people make is believing they are at the mercy of circumstances. They think life is happening to them, that luck, fate, or other people determine their success. But this is an illusion. Every experience you have, every situation you encounter, is the direct result of what you have accepted as true about yourself and the world. If you assume struggle, struggle will appear. If you assume ease, things will unfold effortlessly. The world only mirrors back what you persist in believing. To focus only on yourself means to take full responsibility for your inner state. It means refusing to blame the world, other people, or external conditions for your situation. It means understanding that the only thing that truly needs to change is you. When you shift your inner reality, the outer world must follow. It has no choice. You do not need to figure out how this will happen. The how is irrelevant. The mechanism through which your assumptions materialize is beyond your conscious control. The only thing you must do is remain loyal to the state of being you wish to experience. If you can persist in an assumption without contradicting it with doubt, it must become real. Many people give up too soon. They assume wealth, but when they do not see immediate results, they return to thoughts of lack. They assume confidence, but when an old insecurity arises, they let it pull them back into their past self. This wavering is what delays manifestation. The world is always responding to you, but if you constantly shift your inner state, you send mixed signals, and the results reflect that uncertainty. Discipline is the key. You must remain steadfast in your assumption, no matter what your senses tell you. Even if nothing appears to change, you must trust that the shift is happening beneath the surface. The moment you decide that your assumption is truth, the world must align with it. So in 2025, take full control of your inner world. Stop looking outside for answers. Stop waiting for proof. Stop allowing circumstances to dictate what you believe. Assume the highest version of yourself and persist in that assumption until it becomes your reality, because it will if you do not waver. In 2025, your only responsibility is to focus on yourself. The world is not your master. You are. Everything you seek already exists within you, waiting for you to assume it as true. The moment you shift your consciousness, the outer world will follow. Do not waste time reacting to circumstances. Do not seek validation from others. Do not wait for change to come from the outside. Instead, take full control of your inner state. Assume the best for yourself. Persist in that assumption and refuse to waver. The law is simple. What you focus on expands. What you assume, you become. What you persist in believing, you will experience. If you remain faithful to your vision, the world must rearrange itself to match it. So as you step into this year, make a commitment to yourself. Withdraw your attention from distractions, from doubts, from anything that contradicts your desire. Live from the end. Think only from the state of your wish fulfilled, and walk with the unshakable knowing that it is already done. This is your year, if you claim it.